So with all the religions in the world, what makes Judaism the right religion?
As it turns out, it's not just that the Jews have noticed there's something unusual about the Torah. It's the world. The majority of the people who occupy our planet believes that the Torah is a holy book. Isn't that striking? And I assure you, they're not expressing this view because they just love Jews so much. There are many people who have a favorable view of Jewish people, but we have our fair share of enemies. And despite this, no matter how much they ridicule our people, no matter how much they detest our nation, what the case I'm trying to make is these are really hostile witnesses. The Torah is unique in that everybody knows about it. The world knows about it. And literally the majority of people on our planet believe it's a holy book. Moreover, the Torah predicts this. In Deuteronomy chapter 4, the Torah says explicitly that the nations of the world are going to see your Torah and say, what a wise nation this is that has such wise laws. Literally in the text. Yet the same chapter tells us that the nations of the world are going to expel you, despise you. You'll be in the land of your enemies, far and near. You'll remain few in number, Deuteronomy 4:27. It's really a mind-blowing chapter because this is so unpredictable. Like if I asked you why are the Chinese people, why they've been around so long, so you give logical reasons. They're very large. They have a large piece of land. All the things that will contribute to longevity make sense to make that prediction. But there's Deuteronomy saying no. So the question is, what's unique about the Torah? And that is the nature of the revelation. It was a national revelation that God gave to an entire people. It's the kind of claim that can only be made if it was a historical event. So God reveals himself to an entire nation. Look at Jewish holidays, if I may. And I'm just going to take my time on this. Look at Jewish holidays. What do they celebrate? They celebrate national events, right? Passover, Exodus, happened to an entire nation. Giving the Torah Mount Sinai, Shavuot, the whole nation was there. Sukkot, nation passing the wilderness. Now, in case you think, well, so what? Well, look at Christianity. What are its holidays, right? And Christmas. Jesus born to a virgin. That wasn't the national event. No one was there. There was no national event. Easter wasn't a national revelation. So, as it turns out, the national revelation, the Torah says, challenges you. In Deuteronomy 4, same chapter, verse 32, shall know. Ask, please, ask yourself. From all time it's gone past. Well, has there any other nation that's had national experiences as you had and lived? Ata hares ladas, you've been shown this so that you know. So this is something the writer of Torah is predicting this would never happen again. The only holidays that are national are predicated on national experiences are secular holidays, like in the United States, right? You celebrate July 4th. Why? Because an event that happened to the American people in its most formidable stage of forming the United States, right? You think about the holidays that are celebrated, May Day, whatever it is, whatever you think of countries and their holidays. So their holidays, Indonesia celebrated its independence. It happened to the Indonesian people following World War II, right? So that's why, because the Torah occurred to an entire nation. And in fact, there are miracles that occurred to individuals in TaNaCh. There are such miracles. We don't have a holiday about them. So there are many encounters that Jacob had with an angel, Genesis 32. I have a holiday based on that. Genesis 18, 3 angels show up at Abraham's tent. There's no holiday. Why? It's not a national revelation. Got it? This is so sweet. This is so high. And why? Hashem loves you. You're his daughter. He wants to be close to you. So he speaks to the entire nation. once the nation understood that God is speaking, so then Moshe Rabbeinu, a blessed memory, who the nation interact with and regard him in the highest. The nation loved Moshe, Vayimini B'Hashem Moshe Avdo, so deeply that it almost became dangerous where they thought, uh-oh, Moses is gone, we need to have somebody else. And it turned to a problem that he was so, his grave is not known. The location of the grave is not known because it was dangerous. People revered him so that they might worship him, which could be a problem. So it's the national revelation, and the Torah predicts that something like this would never happen again. So there are many other religions, and their prophets made claims, and you either believe them or don't believe them. You're welcome to, or not, but it's just you believe them. But the national revelation is something completely unique, unprecedented in history. It is the better claim, clearly the better claim to make, right? It's more credible. So why haven't other religions made use of this? The answer is they can't. Because you can't. I could tell you that a miracle happened to me today. You might believe me, but I can't convince you that that miracle happened to you as well, because you're there, and you if it didn't happen, you would immediately know it isn't true. So the book is given to a people who know precisely about what has occurred to them. And in fact, just to end this off, in Deuteronomy 32, the Torah says, look, if you have questions, you want to know more about what happened, ask your father, he'll know about it. Your elders, they'll tell you the whole story. So the book is saying, just ask your elders, they know about it. Why? Because they were there. If the Torah was invented and the stories were invented, the book would never send you to grandfather. He doesn't know anything about the scam, right? And that's why you don't have a similar passage like that in the Christian Bible. That's why the Torah is utterly, completely unique. One other point it should be said, and that is in Judaism, the gold standard of evidence is the prediction. It's the same thing you find in the sciences, that ultimately, when the Torah makes predictions about history, and those predictions are validated through history, just like Einstein in the early 20th century made predictions about observations in the universe and about gravitational pull, and it took time for people to grab a telescope and go to some odd place to observe an eclipse and to notice that what Einstein had predicted, actually, they were able to observe. That's the gold standard of Judaism, and that is what happens to the nation, an eternal nation that goes into exile, suffers, but ultimately God preserves. Anyways, thank you so much for your thoughtful question.
Hey guys, I decided that on all of the shorter videos that are anywhere from 5 minutes to 15, 30 minutes, I'm going to add an extended blank session at the end so that I can live stream them, because I'm getting a lot of messages from people that they're missing the actual live interaction chat, the chat room. So by doing this, they won't all be the same length of extended plays, but this will be benefiting everybody who really does enjoy the YouTube chat. So you'll see just an image at the end, and then just a lot of silence for another 10 to 15 minutes. So you guys can log off whenever you want to, but this will give you guys plenty of time to finish up your chat messages. Hope you enjoy it, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks.
If you enjoy this channel and the content, and it has changed your life, or perhaps the life of a loved one or a close friend, would you please consider supporting this work? You can click this link and it'll take you directly to my website with a donate button. Or there's a Patreon link and a mailing address for snail mail if you would prefer. If you do donate, please do me a favor and leave me a phone number where I can contact you and thank you properly. I hope you all have a wonderful 2025. Shalom.